Hey everyone, so we've been on this massive hunt for life beyond Earth for a long time, right? We're looking for planets with conditions just like ours, liquid water, oxygen in the atmosphere, and all that jazz. But what if we've been going about it all wrong? What if the key to finding alien life isn't finding planets that are exactly like Earth? What if life out there doesn't have to breathe oxygen or even drink water? Mind blown, right? In this video, we're going to explore why our search for extraterrestrial life might need a little bit of a reset. After all, Earth's life is pretty weird itself, and that might be the key to understanding that life doesn't have to be like us to exist. So let's dive into why we might be searching for life in the wrong places with the wrong expectations. Okay, so let's talk about Earth for a second. You might think life here is all sunshine, rainbows, and green forests, but now life on Earth is hardcore. I'm talking about the creatures that live in places where you'd think nothing could survive, like deep underwater volcanoes, super salty lakes, or even in acidic hot springs. I mean, some bacteria actually thrive in lava and extreme acidity. If Earth's life can thrive in these extreme conditions, doesn't that make you wonder what other life forms might be living in ways we can't even imagine? Take the extremophiles, organisms that live in extreme environments. You've got things like tardigrades, aka water bears, that can survive in space, or bacteria living in boiling hot springs at the bottom of the ocean. If life on Earth can adapt to things like extreme heat, salt, or even radioactive environments, why are we so sure that life elsewhere can only exist in conditions that are exactly like Earth's? That's like saying, I've only ever eaten pizza, so pizza is the only food in the world. Doesn't make sense, right? Here's the thing. We've been searching for life only by looking for planets that have conditions like Earth. We look for liquid water, an oxygen atmosphere, and temperatures that are just right for life as we know it. But what if we've been thinking about this all wrong? What if Earth is the only place with these specific conditions and life elsewhere is completely different? For example, what if life doesn't need oxygen at all? Earth's life needs oxygen, right? But here's a fun fact. Some life on Earth actually thrives without oxygen. There are bacteria that live in oxygen-free environments like deep inside the Earth or underwater volcanoes. They use chemicals like sulfur or methane to survive instead of oxygen. So why do we assume alien life would need oxygen too? Maybe they breathe methane or carbon dioxide, or I don't know, maybe they're liquid and just drink electricity like some crazy sci-fi movie. Who knows? Let's talk about methane for a second. Methane's one of those gases we've been kind of suspicious of on Earth, mainly because it's tied to things like cow farts. Hey, science. But did you know that life can actually exist and thrive on methane? Some organisms on Earth actually live in places where methane is abundant, like in the guts of cows, yep, those cows again, or deep sea vents. In fact, scientists are even exploring whether methane-based life could exist on moons like Titan, Saturn's largest moon. Titan has lakes and rivers of liquid methane, so why not life that uses methane as a food source instead of water? Now that's a thought. If life can thrive on methane here, maybe methane's not a life ender like we always thought. Maybe it's the fuel for life on other planets, or moons. And that brings us to the idea that Earth isn't the standard for all life in the universe. Life could have evolved to exist in environments completely alien to what we know. Now let's go really wild here. What if life doesn't need to breathe or drink anything at all? I know that sounds like some crazy science fiction plot, but hear me out. If Earth life can adapt to extremes and still survive, why couldn't some alien life forms be totally different from anything we know? What if life on other planets didn't need oxygen or water, or even any kind of breathing process we understand? We're talking about life that exists in a completely different form. Maybe some alien life forms are more like, I don't know, crystals that grow and replicate but don't need to breathe like animals or plants do. Or maybe there are organisms that can absorb energy from radiation or some other cosmic source instead of sunlight or food. Just imagine. We keep looking for planets in the so-called habitable zone around stars, where temperatures are just right for water to exist. But what if we're missing the mark entirely? We've been pretty obsessed with Earth-like conditions, and maybe that's why we haven't found life elsewhere. We keep looking for planets in the so-called habitable zone around stars, where temperatures are just right for water to exist. But what if we're missing the mark entirely? We've been pretty obsessed with Earth-like conditions, and maybe that's why we haven't found life elsewhere. Maybe the life we're looking for is hidden in places we wouldn't normally consider habitable. Planets with extreme temperatures, or moons with ice-covered oceans, or even places where methane or ammonia dominate the atmosphere. These places might seem hostile to us, but they could be home to life forms that don't need our precious oxygen, water, or even sunshine. So, is Earth the only place where life can exist? Definitely not. But are we looking for life the wrong way? Probably. Our obsession with finding Earth-like conditions has made us miss out on all the weird and wonderful possibilities out there in the universe. Life can adapt to pretty extreme environments on Earth, and who's to say that extraterrestrial life hasn't done the same? Maybe we need to start thinking outside the box, or the Earth-shaped box in this case, and consider that alien life could be completely different from what we expect. It's out there, somewhere. We just need to stop looking for our twin and start looking for something truly unique. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more mind-bending science theories. And hey, if you think alien life is probably just a bunch of space cows mooing on a methane planet, leave me a comment below. Let's talk about all the wacky ways life could exist in the universe. Until next time, stay curious.